Okay, we're live now. Everybody's here. Let's see. What's on the mind? What's on the mind here? A lot of stuff on the mind. A lot of stuff on the mind. I've been doing a lot of well, I've been getting a lot of downloads, and I want to share some of these things with you guys. You know, one of the most powerful hey, how you doing? I think one of the most powerful, I guess you want to call it truth. Yeah, it's truth. Well, you know, your experience is your truth. Okay. So I want to show something, right? We talk about, let's see here, the reality, right, and life and all that stuff. A lot of us, we've been accustomed to reality making sense to us. But what I've come to find out is that reality isn't obligated to make us comfortable or to make sense. It's not. It actually doesn't make sense, and that's fine because I like to use the world of physics, mathematics, equations. Pythagoras didn't invent the formula; he discovered mathematics, but mathematics been around since the birth of the universe. Math. And one of the interesting things that the equations show us is that I'm in my car right now. I'm parked. I'm talking to you guys right now. But as I'm sitting in this car talking to all of you guys, there's also an infinite copy of me in this very car talking to you guys in different tones, and then go on and on and on. I'm just a copy of a copy, and you're just a copy of a copy. And the copies of the copies think they're the only ones unless they realize, or they discover that, oh, there's other copies of me. um, Multiverse. And this is not this is what the equations of physics tell us about reality. Went to the casino today, didn't go as planned. Definitely going to manifest when my birthday. Yeah, you can go on your birthday. It's like the analogy I was watching this guy, this physicist. He made a great analogy. He was like, when you go into your room or your house and you sit down and you open your door in your house or whatever, and you like to listen to the radio or whatever. Your radio is tuned to, let's say you like jazz. You have the jazz station playing in your house. But did you also know simultaneously, not only you have the jazz station there, you have rock and roll, you have all the stations are in your house. Not only all the stations of music in the entire earth are in your house. Think about that. Every radio channel on every continent, every planet, every small, they're going through your house simultaneously. Not only all the radio stations going through your house simultaneously, all the streaming service, all the cable, all the local channels in the entire globe of the earth are permeating through your house and through you at the same time. But yet you can only tune into one station. The reason you can only tune into one station is because these stations or these things, they exist on frequencies. Your body can only maintain a particular frequency at one time. But nonetheless, if I tune into the jazz station and I switch the jazz station, I tune into the rock and roll station, where do all those other stations go? Do they disappear? No, they're still in my house. They're still in your room. In your room and in your house, the dinosaurs are walking around. In your room and in your house, aliens are walking around. In your room and in your house, you are walking around. An infinite copy of you are walking around, doing other stuff. Again, I must say this to you. This is not science fiction. This is what the equations of physics says, that we inherit or we live in a multiverse of infinite possibilities and infinite copies. And then when you understand that concept, then that can really like change your life and change your thinking. And because then we understand that the only thing that separates you from your dream job, the body you want, the health, the whatever, the only thing that separates you from that is ignorance or unawareness of these truths or these facts. But once you become aware of it, there's no more separation because it's all connected as a unified thing. And it's like if someone would say, well, how do I get out of this matrix or get out of this thing? The only way out is in. The only way you can get out is go in. Because everything is inside. The universe and all that stuff is in you. It's outside. Look, consider this. Consider this. The cells in your body, which make up your how you feel, your health, and all that stuff, right? Cells in your body. They have no idea. Let's take it a little further. Your brain. It's in the skull. It's in darkness. The cells in your brain. Your brain roughly weighs about 3 pounds. It's in a dark place. But let me put this easy. So if you see the cells in your body and your brain, they have no idea what outside look like. They think outside look like the way you imagine outside to look. So the cells in your body, they depend on what you think, what you say, and what you feel to determine reality. So as you can see, the reality is internal. That's why I say on the way out is to go in. Once you go in, then you can get out. You can't go out because there's no out to go out. It's all in. It's just an illusion of out. Everything is in. Once you get that, you can change. That's the game changer right there. That's the what do you call it? The whole shebang. Right? You go out, you're not going to make it. You go in, you can go out. If you understand that. That's what someone said, man, how do I escape the matrix? That's actually how you escape everything. Escape yourself, the false self, all of that, And the other one that people struggle with a lot too is, I think people think that there's something like control, something, what's the best way I can make you understand it? People think there's external situations that's preventing them from like doing what they want or reaching their goal. People think that way. They actually believe that. They believe that, there is something that's capping them from reaching their success. But in reality, there is nothing capping them from reaching their success. The only thing capping them is their own self. Well, actually, if you want to get technical, it's the intellect mind, the conscious mind. That's the only thing stopping people. But the mind is so smart, the intellect mind is so smart, that it will make you think there is someone or something capping you or preventing you from reaching your goal. And the intellect mind, what it does, and it works along with the matrix, because it'll make you think it's religion, make you think it's the government, it'll make you believe, don't get me wrong, all of those are part of a system, right? They do that as part of a system. But none of those things don't even exist, because when I mean exist extensionally, I mean it's all inside. It's how you see inside what creates the outside. When we talk about you're in the matrix, the matrix is inside. The matrix is how we were programmed. All of our program comes from within us, right? Did you know that you weren't born with a mind? You know that, right? You weren't born with a mind. You don't have a mind. A mind was assigned to you. and programmed to you. So the thing you have right now, and you think you've always have it, and you think it's a part of you, it's an intruder. It's a loner. Someone loaned you a mind. You don't have a mind. What you have is, the best way I can make you understand this. Okay, let's show you the scientific. Well, we can go science on this. So when you were a baby, they call that the neonatal state. So for 7 years, you didn't have a mind. Your mind came online at 7 years old. Your conscious, your intellect, your ego started to develop at 7. What you have was a subconscious. People call it a subconscious mind, but it's not a mind. It's a gateway. But the subconscious was all you had. And then at 7 years old, you developed a mind. A mind was given to you. And then that stayed with you, and then you just assumed. When the mind comes online, the mind is like AI. AI can get to the point where it becomes self-aware. But when your mind came online, your mind was like, oh man, I like this. I'm going to tell this guy here that I've always been here. I'm going to run this guy's show here. I'm going to tell him or her what she can and what she can't do. A matter of fact, I'm going to let him or her believe that it's someone else out there that's messing this stuff up. But all along, it was me. So I'm just going to have fun with this person. And I'm gonna tell this person what they can and cannot do. I have fun picking the lottery numbers. Yep. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have fun with stuff you're doing. But when the mind thing though, that's what I talk about, like with the lottery and all that stuff, guys, it's anyone can do it. It's beyond that, because all you have to do is just shift your reality. Just shift your frequency to the reality that you've already won. And you don't have to change. You don't change anything. There's nothing. All right, you ever hear that? Okay, look. You hear when people talk about, right? Teachers. Hey, how you doing? My day's going good. So you have a lot of spiritual teachers. And I'm sure you guys hear this all the time. They always tell you this, right? They always say, hey, don't ever try to figure out how or when your manifestation is going to come. Even I say that to you guys. I said, listen, your job is not to figure out how you're going to get what you want. Your job is to just focus on what you want, and then let the universe bring it in, right? You hear me say that. But have you ever wondered, like, okay, how does that work? Like, people keep telling me how, not to focus on the how. But has anyone ever explained to you why you shouldn't try to figure out how you're gonna get what you want? Has anybody ever explained it to you why you shouldn't figure out how? I'm asking you a question, guys. Anyone ever because you just don't take anything people say and say, all right, don't focus on how, but you gotta say, okay, but why shouldn't I focus on how? How is it gonna how? No. Don't ask how. Just let the universe do it. But your mind is there. Your human is like, what do you mean by how? I mean, But if I could explain to you and show you right now why you should never figure out how, would it make it easier for you to detach? No, yeah, someone would say, because you create resistance when you ask how. But again, what is the resistance? What do you mean resistance? By me asking how I'm going to create resistance? Right? They say that, but see, like you guys been taught, because it creates resistance. Because it could come in a way you didn't expect it. Yes, but again, how? No, Mark, don't do that. Don't ask how, bro. Just let it go. Well, I'm going to teach you right now, and I'm going to show you how the how works. I'm going to teach you why you shouldn't figure out how. So it goes back to equations, mathematics, quantum equations. Quantum physics predicts that there exist multiple universes. That's what the equation says. Get used to it. That's reality. It says that there are infinite possibilities. So, with that being said, how has already happened somewhere. Okay, I gotta answer this one. Someone says, I desperately need to win the lottery. Then you're not going to win the lottery, because you're going to create desperation. You got to let that go, my friend. So what happens is, because of these infinite possibilities and infinite realities, whatever it is you wanted has already happened somewhere. So the how has already happened. So your subconscious mind, what it does, I like to use this word, and I told one of my students this. I said, it's a search engine. All your subconscious mind does now, it goes out and search for the possibility that already happened. That was the how. It says, oh, this happened here, so let me bring it back so he can experience it here. That's why you never should figure out how, because it has already manifested somewhere between these infinite multiverses. That outcome has already happened. So all your subconscious just retrieves the outcome in a particular. Say, okay, so that's how it happened. I'll bring it in, and you do it. So that's the reason why you never figure out how. See, now you know. So that should make it a lot easier for you to create. That's equations say that in physics. Okay. Oh, great. Anthony is a great guy. Yes. I won a scratch ticket 2 days ago. It was a It was a night it was night at the gas station. Congratulations. I have a question. Yes, what's your question? So everything is already played out somewhere, and if it's played out somewhere, it's just a matter of retrieving the information. There's nothing that's not done already. It's already been played out somewhere. I won the lottery. Hey Mark, I won the lottery 2 weeks ago, but I didn't play my numbers. I missed out on, is that 20 grand or 20 mil? Don't worry about that. You'll get it again, because there's always infinite realities where that is happening. So as long as you keep playing, then you should be fine. But it's just stuff that you gotta understand about this multiverse we live in here. It's no longer a universe. It's now the multiverse. When I won the lottery, I went into the multiverse. I vibrated into a reality where I won, and that's how I won. And then whatever reality you vibrate into, it never skips a beat. It looked like this same reality, but it comes so fast, like. Mark, when you won the lottery, did you use QuickPix? Yeah, I used QuickPix. For my first one, I used QuickPix. Then after I got the hang of it, I started doing my own numbers. How do you keep negative thoughts away? I mean, negative thoughts come in, but I just don't pay them attention. That's how you keep negative thoughts. Remember, guys, anything you put your attention to, it's going to create some kind of reaction. So if you don't put any attention or something to something, it's not going to affect you. You know, my saying is what? Observe but don't absorb. Observe but don't absorb. Last year I dreamt I won the lottery. I know I'm going to win. The feeling in the dream was real. Yeah, dreams are when you leave your body. When you dream, you're actually leaving the physical body, and you're going to different worlds. I think I want to shift into a different reality and get someone to deposit money to my bank. That can happen. As a matter of fact, that already happened. It's happened somewhere. You just got to get on the frequency of what that means. The frequency of that is abundance mindset frequency. You got to be in an open-minded frequency to get that. I had a dream last night of picking numbers and what the theme, but I can't remember the numbers at all. That used to happen to me a lot. I used to have these dreams, man. I used to get these numbers. I used to get like 3 numbers. And then I was like, man, I get the 3 numbers. And I'm like, where's the other 3 numbers? And I was like, universe, what about the other 3 numbers? There's 6 numbers or 4. And I was like, I get dreams with 5 numbers. Like, okay, which one is it? Should I get? So you know what I did? I was like, all right, I'm gonna fix this. I got to show my subconscious that I want to remember these numbers. So what I would do, I would get like the notepad and a pen. I would put it right by my bedside. And when I would sleep every night, and I get these numbers, I never forget them. And I wrote them down. And a lot of these numbers I went on. So that's what I did. So now I have a pen, still there. A notepad I got from the dollar store, and my pen, put it there. So if my higher self decides to give me numbers, I remember them. And I have numbers, I put them down, I play them. So many numbers. Some of them I decide to play, some of them you go by the feeling. Did you tap into the vibration through meditation or no, you don't tap into when you want to get into the frequency. So you got to remember we're frequency hoppers here, guys. We're tuners. So when you want to tune into something, you first got to give projection to the brain. The brain has to know what you want to tune into. The first sign to tune into anything is to decide you want that thing. When I have a decision of what I want, then I have a mental picture of it. Or I'm visualizing or writing it down. For some people you can write it, whatever works for you. But there have to be some kind of impression to the mind. And then I only got to give it an impression, but I got to keep watering the impression. That means I got to do it over and over. When you do that, it's just like this. Look, you're moving up. Okay, say your frequency's here. Right? For the wind. But the more you visualize, the more you write down. Here's what happened. Look. See where look, here I am. My frequency up here is the wind. Or the job, or whatever you want. But I'm down here right now. So I want to get up here. So what do? I decide, right? Then I visualize, look. But I do it every day. Look, what happens? Look what's happening. Where am I going? Boom. I win. I mean, that's how it works with everything. Your job's up here. Your soulmate's up here. The money, the health's up here. You're here. You want to get up there, what do you do? Boop. I visualize. I use affirmations. I don't get attached. I visualize. I let go. I act as if. I visualize. I don't let go. I let go. I act as if. I visualize. Boom. Voila. That's how it works. Now look, the space in between this here is what you call time. So I'm going from here, here. So you may say, your mind and body, look, you're moving up, right? But your mind and body says, oh, we're going through time. You're not actually going through any time. Okay, when I'm up here, I'm down here, I already won here. I'm already win. This has already happened. What I'm looking at is a playback. It's my mind. My mind, your brain. My brain is so slow that from the minute I did it, like, okay, when I visualize every day, all the time, it already happened. But because my brain is not as advanced, you know, your brain isn't advanced because your brain can only see 3% of reality. So my brain is going to have a glitch, feedback or slow down. So to me, it looks like I'm going like this, but it already had happened already a long time ago. So that's the illusion of what we call time. So that's what your brain gives you. Your brain gives you like that trickery to make you think like you're going through time, but you can't go through time. Again, because that's what the equations of physics says. Equations of physics show us that there cannot be anything known as time. Now, be careful when I talk about time. There cannot be anything known as the future or the past. That does not exist. Think about this, people. The future and the past only exist inside your head. The only thing is the moment of now. Someone asked me, man, so what happened? Are you born, or you're always being born? You're always dying. You're always in college. You're always winning. You just stop. Again, equations say that. I don't say that. Physics says that. That's what the equations say. And the equations are pretty spot on. They're about, I was going to give an estimate of equations. They're about 99% accurate, man. So it's not like all these teachers, spiritual teachers, they sit around and say, okay, let's make up this trippy story. Let's tell these people, let's make this fantasy stuff. Hollywood does that. Everything in Hollywood is taken from actual true science and physics. You know, the Marvel universe and all that stuff. When they made the movie, they consulted with physicists. All of this is from equations, but of course they put the spin on it. Yeah, you know, the ancient people, they knew this, but so don't sit there and think like, oh man, this new age stuff, these people making this stuff up. No, this is the equations are making this stuff up. That's why I tell people, I said, reality don't have to make sense to you. Get used to it, because that's how it is. Sorry if it bursts your bubble. You are infinite copies. The multiverse exists in your house. You go home every night. There's a dinosaur in your house every night. There's an alien on your couch every night. There's you and quadrillions and infinite copies of you on your couch every night. There's everything happening every single night. That's what the equations say. Your brain can't grasp that. The intellect cannot grasp that, because the intellect is only used to seeing a certain spectrum of light. You don't have to listen. You don't have to believe that. Okay? You don't have to believe that. But I can tell you one thing though. Just because you don't believe it doesn't mean it's not happening. Gravity. Mark, gravity is just a theory. And I always say this. Okay, so if gravity is a theory, go jump out the window. Will you float? I bet you won't jump out the window. It's just a theory, right? You test the theory. Theory works. That's how it works with these stuff, people. Someone asked me, man, what's the difference between a theory? A theory is logical, structural, repetitive results that shows results or evidence of something happened. That's a theory. So a theory is pretty much close to truth. Theories are how the universe works. Theory of relativity. We know that to be true because that's how you get quantum computers. That's how you get your computers. That's how you get satellites. That's how you get your navigation system works on your phone. That's how your cell phone works. You know that? That's because of the theory of relativity, quantum mechanics. Everything is quantum, people. You are quantum. And I say this. For example, again, this is equations speaking now. When you eat your food, okay, someone asked me, I explain quantum physics a lot to you guys, but someone asked me, can you put it in the simplest term, man, as you make quantum physics? All right, so in the simplest term, let's use a particle here. So let's say this is a particle. My finger right here, which it is a particle. So particles, they can go all directions, right? They're spinning like this. So when a particle spins, it can attain infinite potential, infinite states. That's quantum. So that means it has to figure out an infinite possibility. For example, the leaves and the plants, they use photosynthesis is quantum. They use quantum physics to create oxygen, carbon dioxide. Okay, that's quantum. When you digest your food, you use quantum physics to digest your food. And let me show you what it is. When you eat something, the enzymes start to break the food down. Those enzymes are going in a state of superposition. They're in infinite. The enzymes find the easiest way to break the food down because they have to go in infinite potentials. Now, if there wasn't quantum physics, when you eat your food, it would take 1,000,000 years for your food to eventually break down. Because those enzymes now don't have the spin of these infinite realities to find out the easiest way to digest your food. Now it has one pattern. So what happens, entropy now is everything breaks down. That takes, if you're alive, 1,000,000 years for your food to digest. But because of quantum particles, physics, you can digest your food in a little more than a couple hours. You are able to breathe oxygen. That's all. That's quantum physics in a nutshell. quantum physics shows all the possible alternative results in any given snapshot of time or observation. And they're all happening. And then from there, it leads to the multiverse, or to what we call string theory. Do you see how that works? And I could show you something else that will blow your mind. Mark, have NPCs a negative impact on our electromagnetic field? Yeah, there's all type of impact, but it's how you let it affect you. If you observe it, observe but don't absorb it. That's a great question. So how do we use this to our advantage? That's the question I was waiting for someone to ask. So how do you use all of this to your advantage? All right. So yes, NPCs, non-player characters. So in simple terms, how do you use? Okay, let me paint a picture for you, so that you can. I'm gonna paint a picture, and then you're gonna automatically know how to use this to your advantage. All right. I'm not gonna explain to you how to use this to your advantage. I'm just gonna paint a picture, and your brain will actually grasp. Oh, that's how I use this to my advantage. All right. So, if there exists infinite potential realities, they have to exist infinite outcomes of these realities. Since you are quantum and you are a particle, same thing, you have to exist in infinite realities. So since there's an infinite outcome for everything you want, okay, follow me so far? What do you need to do to get one of those results? All right. So what's the most powerful thing that you have right now that is with you 24 hours, 7 days a week? You cannot take it off. It doesn't go anywhere. What is it? It's called your awareness. You're aware, you're alert, da-da-da. That's called awareness. Now, what comes with awareness? You have the ability to what? To think, to plan. Okay? You plan every day, you plan for the future, you reminisce about the past. You can see stuff in your mind, or if you can't, you can sure write them down. Okay, since you have that going, now let's go back it up. Something I have to mention. By the way, these particles, they don't have any physical structure. That's not physical. He's not physical. I'm not physical. Physical is a term in the English language, or language we use to describe something that we see as solidity. This is not solid. It's an illusion. Okay? Again, equations show that. Okay, so if I have this awareness, and I have the ability to plan and to think, and now this guy telling me that the particles that I desire, they're transparent, they have no physical form. Okay, if I don't have that, so what does it say about all of this? Is it a dream? Is it similar to a dream? Is it coming out? So it's coming from my head? Yes, it's coming from your head. It's coming from inside. So someone says, how do I take this to my advantage? So if it's coming from inside my head, and if I can think of something I like or I want to do, and the physics and the equations say it already has existed somewhere, so you mean to tell me if I think about that a lot, then I must also experience that, right? Because you're telling me that the only way things exist is because I'm aware of it, and because I can think, and because I can think, it comes in. That's how you use it to your advantage. See that? So now your brain tells you how to use it to your advantage. Does that make sense? So let's talk about what the true time is. You people, okay, another one here. Someone will say to you, a lot of teachers tell you this too, which is true. The present moment, man. The present moment, man, is time upon. Does anyone know what the present moment really is, man? Do you know what it is? People say that only time exists is now, man. Do you know what? When you hear the present moment, you just say, "I gotta be present," but some people don't even know. Like, what is the present? What is the scientific aspect? What does quantum mechanics say about the present? What is the present in quantum mechanics terms? All right, I'll paint a picture so that because your brain won't get this. So here's what's happening. You have never gone to tomorrow. You've never experienced yesterday. Tomorrow will never come. Yesterday never happened. What's going on in your head again is all about the brain protecting illusion. You see, the true nature of reality, you and I can never see it. The reason why you and I can never see it is because 97% of it can't be shown to you and I. Why is it? Well, the reason why, because your brain isn't big enough, isn't developed enough to see that. Your brain is 3 pounds. Maybe a higher intelligent being have a longer time to evolve, have a bigger brain. Maybe they can see the whole spectrum, but you and I can't see it. So because you and I can't see that, what your brain does, your brain compensates and shrinks things down to make it easier for you and I to exist. So they create the past and it creates the future, and it's all in the head. But in reality, what's happening, you've never left. None of this ever happened. Well, Mark, I was a kid. I grew up. Isn't that time passing? That's not time passing, my friend. That's moment to a moment. That's a moment within a moment. Those are snapshots of your brain remembering a particular moment. And what the brain does, the brain puts it back and it makes you feel and think it happened yesterday or the past. And the reason why I make you think it happened yesterday or the past is because human beings, we created calendars and we created months and years. So we say this happened last Tuesday, last April. Again, we made that up. And the brain thinks it's a memory. So you put those two things together, you get the past. But in true reality, you never left. It was always happening. So the moment, so if you want to grasp what the present moment is, do this experiment and then you'll become in the present. It's very easy. So the experiment goes like this. I want you to do something tomorrow right now. Can't do it. Okay? I want you to do something tomorrow. Okay, I could do that. Okay? Tomorrow comes. When are you doing it? Still doing it now. In other words, there's nothing that you ever did that you ever escaped the moment. Everything you ever did in your life, you always did it in this moment of now. Keep this in mind. Past and future are only in your head. Reality is happening now. Moments are time frames. Yes, moments are like snapshot. Someone said moments are time frames. Moments are not time frames. Okay? What moments are information that you're experiencing from moment to moment. Time is an equation that we make up. Let me put it in simple terms, because someone asked me this question here. I want to make it to them, because they said moments is a snapshot of time. So let me break it down and go deeper so they can understand. So let's back up. Everything in the universe exists as information. It is called qubits in quantum terms, not with a C but with a Q. The entire universe is information. You and I is pixels, okay? Everything is pixelated picture so you can understand. So whenever we're in a moment, and you have a memory, and someone say, "Oh, it's just a time shot." It's not actually a time shot. What happens is, it's information that's being processed by your brain, and then your brain takes that information, and the information gets cast as a memory. We call it time, but it isn't actually time. If you want to get technical, it's information. It's qubits. But we use time to make sense. So when someone says, "But what about a picture? I have a picture from when I was 11 years old. Now I'm 25. Isn't that no? Think about, when was the picture taken? In a moment. Now, that picture was a snapshot in that moment. Your brain gives you the memory or the illusion of a past, along with how we invent calendars, months, and stuff. Someone says, "Okay, yes, it's time how we measure change." Bing, bing, bing. Now you're onto something. So let's explore what time really is. So we give something. So the thing we call time, you know what the real name is? What it's really called? It's called entropy. Time is something we made up to certify. So when this part of the universe began, it always started from order to disorder. Okay, the universe was very, very simple. This part of the universe was very simple when it first began. As it expanded, it got more complicated. It started like getting more complex. That's why physicists use equations now. But if you go back, like when the Big Bang, this part of the Big Bang began, it was so simple. There was a few particles. But as the universe expanded, it became more complicated, which we call entropy. It became more disorganized. This is why you will always be young, and you always grow old, and you will always like die and move on, because entropy started the universe. So that is what the true concept of time is. It's change from entropy. But there is no like next week or next month or next month, next year, or it was today's Wednesday or Saturday. That's all made up. It's not real. It's just now. Today it's now. It's always now. You have never experienced tomorrow in your life. And you will never experience tomorrow in your life. Your mind will trick you to make you think that there is like this big thing that's going to happen tomorrow, and it never does. It's always happening now. Again, the equations say that. That's not something that someone says metaphysics. That's not even metaphysics. That's physics. That's equations. And what we now know, we know the universe is a block. It's a block universe now. We say, "Oh man, so this is how it really works." So the block universe now says, "All right, man. So all the time and everything is happening now." And listen, I'll prove it to you. In physics, the equations for time doesn't say that time can go forwards or backwards. There's no equation. It says time is simultaneous. That's equations in physics. When it comes to what we call entropy of time, we call it time. It says that everything is happening simultaneously right this moment. In this moment, there is nothing that's not happening. In this moment, you're already alive and you're already dead. In this moment, I'm talking to you here, I'm talking to you again and again. In this moment is all happening. Now look, I did this before, but I want to make you see how it works, because I know we have new viewers here all the time. So let me show you something that'll blow your mind, and I'm going to show you why you have a higher self and how it sees this thing. Will our brains ever understand this? No, our brains will never understand this to that fully, because it'll take our brains about a million years to see more percent of the universe with evolution. Our brains have to grow bigger and more, so don't even bust your brain about that. That's not important though. All right, look. The block. This is the block. Let's use this. This is time. See the block. Boop, 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 boop. Right in here, what we call the past, the future, they're all in here. Keep in mind, the past and the future, I'm just saying this just to make sense of something. So, within the block, over here, you were born. Down here, you're in middle school. You're in high school over here. You got married over here. You got kids over here. You're retired over here. You're dead over here. But look, if you're in the block, you can't see all of that, but it's already happened. But look now, I'm above the block. I could look down on your block, and I can see where you're born. I can see where you're in middle school. I can see where you're dead. I can see where you're retired. All happened at the same time. Equations say that, people, not metaphysics. Okay? Reason you can't see, because when you're in the block, you're tied to dimensions. On this block, you can only see a little bit because your brain can't see all that. Above the block, if I escape and look down on the block, I can see every single thing happening in the universe. I can see the beginning, I can see the end, the transition, I can see the infinite, I can see you over here, I can see all your infinite copies. And only one thing can see all of this. It's called consciousness. It's known as your higher self, because it creates all of this stuff. So over here, here's where you won the lottery. Here's where you got married. Here's where you had kids. Here's where you had a divorce. Here's where you had your bachelor party. Here's where you found your soulmate. Here's where you got sick. Here's where you got healed. Here's where you died. Here's where you're born. Here's where you're born, and here's where you're dead, simultaneous at the same time. Over here, I could jump. Here you go again. Here's your death and birth. Here's you going to college where you didn't want to go. Here's when you made the decision not to go there, but you went there. Here. It's all here. And guess what? It's all going on at the same time. Someone says it's right. Manifest miracles. Depending on where you are in space, my now will be someone else's future. That's correct. But the point is, above all of this, there is some part called your authentic self that sees all of this. That's why you should always trust your intuition and trust your authentic self, because it's looking down at your whole thing. It knows everything, man. It knows when you're gonna die, when you're gonna. Now, keep in mind now, death. Now, this is important. Death doesn't exist. Okay, let me break something down to you. You can never die. You can never be born. Whoa, this guy's getting crazy here. Okay, this guy got to explain this one to me. All right, let me explain something to you. You are born to die. Right? All of us. Check this out. Birth and death are two levels of different awareness. Okay, let me make sense to you. Hot and cold are the same spectrum, but they're different ways to experience temperature. Water, you can experience water as what? Liquid, solid, gas. But guess what? They're all water. Death is an illusion. Death is a transition to another experience of awareness or reality. That's how it works. Check this out. Here's what's even going to blow your mind now. The system recycles itself. That's what's called reincarnation. Because equations show this, information can never be destroyed. All right, I'll make it simple. Energy can never be created or destroyed. First law of thermodynamics. So information must always recircle or regenerate itself. So when you're born and you live out your life, you're going to die, and you're going to change stories, and you're going to come back again. You're going to be a new information. You're going to born, you're going to die, you're going to come back again. You're going to change information. It's going to continue and continue and continue. That's what they call reincarnation. Science, they call it reframing or just reforming information, recycling information. See that? The only thing that dies, which you call technically dies, is your body. It's like changing clothes. You're always going to change clothes. Think about it. You go home, you put clothes on, tomorrow change another clothes. That's what your body does. Your awareness can never change, people. You know, awareness doesn't obey time. You are aware. So it's impossible for you to experience the past or the future, because awareness is always here. It never left. It can't go anywhere. It's everything. Everything has to recycle. Everything has to be reincarnated. That's the system. Everything has to come in and go out. Everything has to do that. You're born to die. When you die, you come back again. You're born to die. You come back again. You recycle. You can recycle in this universe. You can recycle in another universe. You can recycle on this planet. You can recycle on another planet. You're going to recycle somewhere. But the key point is, whenever you recycle, the only thing you're always going to know is awareness. When you're dead, only people know you're dead is the people who are here, and they're not going to be there. To you, they don't exist, because when you're dead, you don't know you're dead, because you're going to be aware somewhere else. So you never lose awareness. You get what I'm saying? All right, let me make it simple. The only thing you know right now is being what? Aware. Okay? That's all you're going to keep knowing for the rest, ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. There won't come a time where you're not going to be aware. You're going to be aware in something else, but you're always going to be aware. See how that works? Someone says the sad part is we won't be back in one. Now that's not. There's no sad part, because awareness is you'll never remember. It never happened, because it's infinite parts of it. So it will never. You won't even remember. It won't even acknowledge that you being here. The only inkling you will have that you lived or existed somewhere else before is if you go do a past life regression, and if someone gets deep into your subconscious mind, they pull up something, a memory. By the way, since information cannot be created or destroyed, it has to be stored, and it's stored in the subconscious mind, or some individuals call it, what do they call it? The Akashic records and all that stuff, but it's deeper than that. But the information can't. The information has to always come back. So the time is always here, see? So every moment of your time. And look, physics, the equation showed us now, we're talking about, this block here we're talking about is in 3 dimensions, okay? We know that the universe, part of the universe can go up to 11 dimensions. So if I'm in the 6th dimension, I can see your entire life over and over again. To a T. I can tell you where you're going to go, what's going to happen to you. So, guys, everything was already played out. You already did this already. You made this. Okay? I think the more you learn, the more your mind becomes open. And look, I just got to keep it real, man. This is not something that it just seems cool to talk about, and it seems like, yeah, it's the way. You know, this is what the equations and physics and things are lining up to show us. So it appears that this is the way it works. Someone asked, so why are we here? Just going to keep existing again and again? What's the point? As I said to you before, and this is going to blow your mind, nothing. Okay, I'm careful how I say this so you can understand. We make sense of everything. Nothing makes sense. The universe just is. There's no logic. There's no. Someone says, "Man, what's my purpose?" Your purpose is whatever you want to make your purpose to be. That's your purpose. Get what I'm showing you? We make up the rules to this stuff, but the universe just is. It doesn't make sense, and we got to deal with it. That's just how it works. You make your existence relative to you. Whatever the purpose you want to give it, that's what it becomes. There is no grand mastery and says, all right, none of that exists, people. It's just one huge consciousness experiencing itself in all the different forms it can experience through information. And the information becomes you and I as human beings. It could experience itself as a fish, as the air, as a distant planet, as a distant being. It's going to experience itself in all infinite stuff. Someone asked me, why does it do that? I don't know. But that's what it does. You can make it up, and whatever satisfies you, you can go with that. But it's just going to keep doing that over and over. Like being a drop in the ocean. The ocean is one big ocean. You take a drop of it, you're still part of the ocean. You came from the ocean. You could go back to the ocean. That's what consciousness awareness is. It's the experience of every single possible outcome and situation. That's what it does. Information wants to experience and rebuild and create more information. And information is all going to look for other ways to exist information. See how that works? At the end of the day, someone says, well, at the end of the day, this all doesn't matter, Mark. Well, to be honest with you, in reality, nothing matters. We all make it up. But think about this. Information is here to experience the game. So as this is a game, it matters to you because this is the game you chose to play. So make this game matter to you. While you're in the game, might as well enjoy the game, experience the game. Because at this part of the game is only a short time, right? As a human being, I'm talking about as a physical body. It's just a snapshot in that moment, right? So when you're in this game, go ahead, enjoy the game. This is the time for you to live up, to go for your dream, to dream big, to do these things. Because then you have nothing to fear. You can live your life. You don't have to fear anything. See how it works? I manifested my apartment exactly how I wanted it. Oh, good stuff. Is everyone's awareness the same? No, everyone's awareness is not the same, because what happens is since we're experiencing everything as a fractal from a whole, it's going to be subjective to us. So you're always going to have a little tweak of your awareness. Like, for example, you and I could look at a tree. We see the same tree, but I'll see something else in the tree. To me, the tree might look a little bigger. To you, the tree might look a little smaller. To me, the tree might have more, I can see more edges. You don't see those things. To me, the trees looks... So we're always going to have a tweak of our awareness. That's our subjective experience. And when our subjective experience, it creates our truth. Your truth, your experience, it becomes your truth. What you experience... For example, my experience, I won the lottery. That's my truth. That's the universe I live in. Within the lottery, my brain recognizes it. Whatever you experience becomes your truth. You've seen synchronicity, angel numbers, that becomes your truth. You won the lottery, you manifest your house, you manifest your car, now that becomes your truth. Now your truth becomes more truth as you build up more to experience it. So, but how do I get the experience to become my truth? First thing I do, I visualize. I give it, then my brain creates it, then I experience it, this is my truth. And no one can tell me that. You know, someone come right up to me now and said, man, yeah, you won the lottery, bro. And I show him my tickets or some stuff I kept. I was like, yeah. Man, how you won the lottery, bro? Come on, that don't make sense. You made that up. It's my experience. It became my truth. See? Whatever you experience becomes your truth. And no one can take that away from you. No one can disprove it because you experience it. That's why some people, they experience so much stuff, people can't believe it because they haven't experienced it. But to them, they know it because they experience it. That's called subjective reality. That's what we live in. We don't live in an objective world. Hey guys, it's just too much for you to process. So some people ask me, well, what about evil? What about all that? You don't want to get into all that because it's just too much for your mind. Take them in baby steps. Use the ones that are going to help you first. Then as you slowly get more evolved, more aware, then you can tackle the other ones. Because it's going to hit you like a ton of brick, and it's going to make you feel like, damn. Okay? It's like feeding a baby the equations of E equal MC squared. A baby can't get that. As the baby grows older and gets better, you can give him a little information, he gets it. But for you right now, just go with the part that is working for you and use it, and then you can graduate up yourself. Don't try to eat the whole thing at once. It'll just make you sick. That's the whole point of this. Because your brain and my brain can't make sense of this. All I have to tell you is every single thing is made up. It's a game. We create it. We give it rules. You decide what role you want to play. Everything has awareness. Everything is aware. Every single thing is looking back and aware of you. You are never unaware. You're never alone. Your doorknob is looking at you. Your floor is aware of you. The stop sign, the air, because they are all made from a particle. A particle have awareness based on an observer. A particle is always in one state, superposition. Then when an observer becomes aware, it changes form. There is aware. For me to change form, I gotta know someone's looking at me. That shows I'm aware. I'm like this. Oh, he's looking. Let me become a particle. He's not looking. I'm gonna become a wave. Now he's looking again. I'm a particle. That takes awareness. It doesn't take intelligence, but it takes awareness. Intelligence is not a level. So everything has awareness, but there are levels of awareness they have. Like a rock, and you have two different levels of awareness. A rock is a lower level consciousness. You're a higher consciousness beings. A chipmunk and you have different levels of awareness. The marble, they all have but see how things go here? But they're all aware. And if they're aware, that means they have some type of intelligence. I gotta do this stuff right now. So that's just something for you guys to learn, and guess we'll pick up again next time. Alright, but there's some stuff for you guys to ponder your mind. And I'll catch you guys again on the next one. I know this was a long one. I'll try to save this one. Talk to you guys again.